And we are live. Welcome to The Contradiction, guys, with myself, Byron McDonald, and Lethea McCann. As I say each week, Facebook is a private owned interface. So if you do get logged off, just hop back onto the page and you'll find a new link there. And comment and engage.
Hey, listen up. If you're lucky enough to fall in love with someone, try not to ruin it by Googling them.
The Contradiction with Lethea McCann and Byron McDonald.
Just to make sure you don't forget what we look like.
So as I say each week, The Contradiction is about bringing different viewpoints together and allowing you, the viewer, the opportunity to comment and engage and share your viewpoint on the topic. So each week we get a new guest host with a new topic to discuss and contradict each other's viewpoints. So our guest host for tonight's show, we have an amazing guest all the way from Los Angeles, California, USA, and that is Raymell Bently. Raymell is an energy-shifting transformational coach. He is the CEO and founder of Bently Transformations. Raymell has always had a passion for helping others and making a difference in people's lives. And after overcoming and facing his own challenges and hardships in life, he discovered that everything in life is energy and that we all have it within ourselves to shift our energy to have the life that we mostly desire. So Raymell's way of life is, if you can believe it, you can achieve it.
That's
Without
right.
any further ado, let us go ahead and bring on our guest host, Raymell Bently.
Hey, Raymell, how are you?
I am amazing. Hello. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. In South Africa, it's lockdown Sunday. In the next 27 minutes, I'm not even allowed to leave my house.
Which is good because you have something to keep you entertained and makes time go by.
Hey, but we're losing so many people, man, during this time. I don't know how it's affecting a lot of other countries. I know a lot of people saying it's capitalism. A lot of people saying, yeah, it's just a conspiracy. But I don't want to be trapped in that. I want people to live their own lives and understand themselves and all these things. But let me not get into that. We need to alleviate our mind from such things. I know we speak COVID each day. We speak to each other about it. We tell each other to be safe and all these things.
That people are still dealing with life.
That's right. But
and relationships.
That's exactly it. But how has Raymell been doing? How's Raymell been keeping up? What I've been doing, we spoken a year ago on the show, man.
A year ago. I just mentioned back in the studio that it's been exactly a year, because a memory popped up that you were on the show last year, July, around this time. And it's just amazing to have you back on. And yes, as Byron said, how have you been doing? What you've been up to? What's been keeping you busy?
I've been doing well. I have been expanding, growing, healing, working on myself, releasing things that don't serve me and replacing them with things that empower me, and just helping others do the same. I have shifted my title from life energy coach to now I'm an empowerment coach, because I notice all my content that I put out and all the reviews I get from my clients is that they feel so powerful and stronger mentally, spiritually, and physically after they work with me. So that's what I do. I help others remove energetic blocks within them that keeps them from expanding and growing and becoming that better version of themselves.
Excellent. So you know why we got you on, and Lethea liked to say this is a topic I should know much about, but I said I don't. Is there, since I know so much about the topic, I don't think I should go first then. Is there a price to pay for promiscuity? Promiscuity, yeah. Raymell, that's why you're the guest host. You're the guy, you know what it is. That's
No, definitely. That is that's your topic.
Well, you would think, because of how I look, right, that I'm just over here promiscuous and spreading the energy all around the world. Is there a price to pay for promiscuity? There definitely is. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So when you unpack promiscuity, where does it stream from? I know for me, and I'll get a little vulnerable and share just a little insight about myself. I was molested at the age of 7. So I was exposed to sex and just all of those things at such a very young age that I felt powerless because my power was taken away from me at a young age. So as I grew older and I started to become aware how I looked and just the attention that I got, my way of trying to gain back that power was let me try to get as many people to lust over me, get as many people to want me. And I thought that it would make me feel powerful. Unfortunately, that price that I paid was that I always felt empty. I always felt like I was in the moment feeling whatever, but after the fact, I felt still like lost, like nothing, like I didn't feel found. It didn't really do something that I thought it would. So my price for paying was just I was giving of myself and not respecting myself.
Lathia?
Is there a price to pay? I do think there is a price to pay. I believe there is a price to pay. The one thing though, what I can say when it comes to women and men, so we have the saying that goes, a man can pull his pants up and down 100 times, will still be the same man. If a woman does it, she will never be the same woman. So I feel that there's a bit of sexist when it comes to promiscuity. It's as if it is allowed for men. It's not frowned upon when it comes to a man, but for a woman, the exchange of sexual partners, it's of course it's taboo. She's not allowed to explore herself sexually because then she is classified all these derogatory terms. So I would say when it comes to exchange of energy, because I feel that when you are giving yourself over in a physical manner to somebody else, whether it be the same sex, opposite sex, whichever way, sexually, you are exchanging energy. You are giving part of yourself to this person. And if you are going to have multiple sexual partners, you have given a part of yourself to each of those people. And each of those people has something within you or left something within you, some sort of energy. And I think that is why many people, if they are promiscuous or highly sexually active, it's difficult for them to settle down because, as Raymell said, there was a point in his life where he felt empty because he wasn't fulfilling himself. He thought that fulfilling himself meant being desired by other people, but he first needed to respect himself and desire himself. Because I think you can understand yourself sexually by exploring yourself. You don't have to go through many sexual partners to explore yourself sexually. And then, of course, when it comes to your medical in medicine, you can also get STDs or HIV or many sexually transmitted diseases. You're putting yourself at risk every single day. And that accounts for men and women. When it comes to the exchange of energy, it's not just women. I think the only thing when it comes to women is the reputation that can be ruined because of many sexual partners. So if I have a boyfriend tomorrow, 10 men can say, I was with your woman as well. And for a man, it kind of busts his ego.
Let me go in there because I see Samuel Koopman said the same thing. For women, yes. For men, no. I kind of agree and disagree with you guys, and that's where the contradiction comes in with me now again. You guys need to understand, yes, there's a pros and cons in anything you do in life. Eating healthy, eating too much of healthy food, there's pros and cons in it. You see, I understand, I believe everybody should be promiscuous because this is where the point comes in. I know Bible times and whatever religious times, they will say, no, one partner, one understanding. But that's where a lot of divorces come in. That is in the past generation when they could keep you away from temptation. Now we have temptation everywhere we look. Every single part, you pick up your phone, there's temptation. You read a newspaper, there's temptation. You look out your window, there's temptation. You go to work, there's temptation. Even in COVID, when you lock down, there's temptation. So if you don't get to understand what you want in life, if you don't get to explore yourself, first of all, as a woman, and the thing is, the bad name comes on women because of insecure men and women that wanted to beat other women down. So this was never a thing ordained over women in their own mind. This is a thing set by society and set on society's ways. So yes, we all like to say we are this beings that live on their own. We love ourselves, we explore ourselves. The only way you can love yourself and understand yourself and explore yourself is when you understand what you want in this life. But if you've never touched yourself, if you've never felt yourself, if you've never kissed yourself, if you've never looked at yourself in a way that finds yourself attractive, like Raymell said, you had to first understand what he wants and love himself before just putting himself there and exploring. Yes, I understand that. But with the sense of exploration, you also find out what you want. A lot of marriages in today's day and age, I'm not talking about the past because we're living in a different generation and different era, and I don't like comparing with the past. Past people like telling me, yeah, people in the past stayed longer married and all this nonsense. They could hide stuff more. They had less shame to show because they didn't have to tell someone else, I have a kid by that person, I have a kid by that person. More men neglected their kids in the past than now, so the woman does not look like a slut. There's lots of women in their 50s now that raise their kids alone. Today's day and age just exposes everything much more frequently. So yes, you see those women that were so-called sluts, let's call it the love 70s. Remember the 70s was all about love, sex, drugs, whatever they want to call it. Why was that the most peaceful time? There was not really wars and stuff. Why was people in love? Why did people feel the sense of togetherness? Because people was exploring. And when that dopamine and that oxytocin runs through your body and you get to understand and explore yourself, that's another level. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about that answer, but that's where I stand with promiscuity. Yes, there's pros and cons, but you're not paying a price. You're starting to understand yourself with promiscuity.
Raymell, what is your take on what Biden just said?
I would definitely say too, it's about being intentional. If you're going to be promiscuous in the sense of let me be intentional to see what I like, what I don't like, what really gets me off, what doesn't, then that's where, and not just as you're doing it, you're not attaching the need to get validation or just get approval from someone to make you feel about like worthy or not. But if you're unintentional, you're just doing it blindly, then that's where you need to unpack, why am I doing this? Am I trying to fill a void from someone else that I need to fill for myself? Did something happen to me? Because I know the cases of a lot of people who were sexually molested at a younger age, they grow up to be promiscuous in their adult lives because they just are trying to get that fix of how they felt in that time, unaware that that is something that is within them. So it's really just, what are your intentions when you're exploring your sexual freedom of likes, don't likes, and certain things you never know until you try. But if you're just holding just certain temptations that you have internal, even if you get married, you'll wind up cheating because you're not completely satisfied and fulfilled in that situation. So you're going to always wonder, I wonder how it is to have this partner, if they can do something different. And then that's where you'll break that bond of that just foundation of marriage to try to explore what you don't know.
I 100% agree with Raymell. It is based on intention. And of course, the question would be, why do people choose to be promiscuous, like you just said? And when it comes to exploring yourself, again, I will say that you can explore yourself on your own. You don't have to have multiple sexual partners to understand what it is you enjoy. There's many sex toys, dildos, vibrators, many sexual toys that you can go and buy to explore yourself, because I think only you can understand what it is that you want. And if you can do that for yourself, you can then understand what it is that you like, and then have your partner and teach your partner what it is that you like. So you don't have to be promiscuous in order to understand yourself sexually. And I believe that in many cases why people are promiscuous is because they're seeking something that they want to fulfill, something within themselves that they don't really know what it is.
No, that's a point. I just want to go to this comment here. Jordan, women must preserve their value. Men must gain their value. Women gain sex easily, which is why it's frowned upon. When they are promiscuous, men have to gain certain qualities. Example, money, status, and body fitness, etc. Okay? Promiscuity in males increase male value because females want a male experience. Now, I'm going to again maybe teach you something here, because I never like to say that to people. Maybe I'll also teach you something here. That's not men. That's insecure beings that's living the planet. There's a different sense in that. You see, when a man attains a woman that's only going for the guy with money, experience, or whatever it is, yes, you must seem stable, because men are not hunting like they used to do in the past. Again, I go back to what I said earlier. We're in a different generation. So now money, maybe status like that is a sense of hunting, is a sense of providing, and that's a natural thing that a man brings to the table. And yes, the woman is a nurturer, but don't lose sight of a secure man, and I call that the alpha male. A beta male, again, is somehow of a narcissist. An alpha male is a confident man. There's a big difference, and I'm going to tell you now the two difference on that. A beta male might be flipping rich. He might have the most cars and stuff, but you will mistreat his lady. You will treat her as crap because he gets his sense of power from that, because he gets this sense of power of mistreating her and showing her I can have many sexual partners and not you, putting her then in this victim mode if she's not strong enough. So he hunts. How can you? What do you call the birds that hunts the dead? Vulture. He's like a vulture. He hunts the dead prey that he preys on the weak. Now, an alpha male again, my friend. Yes, he has that experience. He's sure of himself. He's gone into this world understanding that I want a woman by myself that will give me peace of mind, not peace of something. This is the lack where you come in. That's the small man mentality. Peace of mind and peace of something is something. Do you want someone to sleep with you and give you good sex and give you nightmares at night after having sex? There's a big difference in that. A beautiful girl or a very high sex drive girl that will give you anything, even other sexual partners as women, might not give you that peace in your sanity, in your health, all the important foundational things that you will be losing over time. So that's my answer to what you call what they are searching. So those men you're talking about, again, societal pressure, society men, society setup ways. So if you can't move your mind away from that, unfortunately, you're trapped in that mindset.
I just also want to go to Sharon's comment, Sharon Mitchell saying, what happened to love?
Oof.
Very, very important comment over there, because when people are promiscuous, of course, it's not a relationship that you are in. And I believe, this is my personal opinion, that in most cases, the time when you really enjoy sex and that connection is when you truly love someone. It is in the act of love.
That's right.
So when you give yourself sexually, you are giving yourself because you want to express love. So sex is a form of expressing love between two people. And the best way to do that is when you love someone, and that is when you feel valued. It's not just about the sex. You feel respected in that moment. You feel you can make yourself vulnerable. I think that's really when you can give yourself into the experience of sex, is when you can say, I can trust this person. This person is my safety net. I can make myself vulnerable. And that is really when you can enjoy the experience of intimacy.
I just want to go to this comment before I go to the mall. Just want to go to the comment here.
Bertha says, my husband after 36 years still turns his back towards me when he gets dressed. If he's in the shower, I'm not allowed to go in the bathroom. He was abused when he was in an orphanage. I knew that when I met him and was okay with that. Still love him to death.
Now, wow. There's, I just said, peace of mind. Not she went for a man that she thought is going to sexually arouse her. She went for a man that she thought, okay, he shows me his vulnerability, but I still loving you. They see, that's the wonderful thing again about the woman. But I think women continuously forget that they have that ability. Now they catfight each other for a title that's not even there. I hate it. Let me not use the word hate. I dislike it when women say, put a crown on your head. What crown? Who do you need to be a leader of? You are you. You don't need to be a queen. You don't need to be anything. That's a status you're attaching that the world has created. A queen is someone that rules over some people. Who do you want to rule over? You see, a lot of women dislike it when I use these words and use these analogies. Say, I am me. I'm living my best life. Yes, I am me. I'm exploring me. I'm understanding this person I am. I'm the spiritual being that's understanding who I am. Yes, this vessel that is confused, this consciousness that you put me in this human body is just what I'm exploring. But I'm not going to attach it to what the other humans have given titles of and saying that's who I am. Then you're confused of who you are. But Raymell, here's the question. Right? We spoke about their price to pay for promiscuity. Is there advantage to promiscuity?
Is there advantage to promiscuity? I would say, I mean, you have experience to where you know what different variety of exchanges are. So if you are just have one mate that you've been with, you don't really have that much knowledge and awareness of certain just ways to please your partner in the bedroom because you only have that one experience, versus when you are promiscuous, you're able to really know, like, hey, I like this, I don't like this, or I'm willing to try this, versus just saying no with not even knowing if it's something that will even get your rocks off.
True.
And the other question, should a promiscuous woman or man enter into a relationship? Do you think, because this is a question that a lot of couples also deal with, should you share the number of sexual partners, or should your partner even ask you the number of sexual partners you were with? Should you share that? Because I've heard a lot of people
Should
say,
that be?
who said, but I want to know so that I can understand your history and your past,
Yes.
etc., to understand who you are now.
Yes.
So should you share the number of sexual partners
Yes.
with your? Why?
I wouldn't.
Let's-
I don't
Raymell.
think it's a bad thing. I definitely feel like as you are in a relationship, you are definitely, it's a partnership. So you have that foundation of you want to get to know your mate in all areas. So if you're in a place to where you're all the way whole, you love yourself, you've worked on yourself, what you hear in regards to your partner's history as far as how many people they've been with shouldn't be something that makes you devalue them as a person, because you can try to understand, okay, well, what made you want to explore these many different partners
That's
along
right.
the journey? What made you want to just be promiscuous and try to just see what's out there in the world without you taking it to heart, without you feeling like, oh, you did this, well, we're not compatible, because their past is not here. Their future is something that you can build together, but what you have is right now, and how do you feel right now when you with them, to me, is the only thing that matters, not what they did in the past.
For me, it's quite important to know not the sexual partners, but why, what have you experienced versus love and sex that we are going to do as a partnership together. Why it's important. I don't need to know the people. I don't need to know who the people are. I need to know what type of characters you were with. So reason being, you need to know these things about past. And a lot of people try to dodge it because they like to hide it. Sometimes your partner will flare up with you and you trigger a word and you don't know why your partner is angry at you. But if she spoke about the past or he spoke about his past, you would understand, okay, I should be careful when I say these things. I should be careful when I make these jokes. I should be careful how I treat around this person, getting to understand that person. And I want to tackle this quickly also of Samuel. Samuel say a vulnerable male is a beta male. By definition, when a male is vulnerable or exhibit feminine qualities, his partner will automatically lose attraction. So I disagree with what you said. Again, Samuel, I think you don't grasp the thing of taking a context and understanding what I said. There's some people do selective hearing and selective taking. And what you've done, you took selective parts out of it. Not once did I say that the male is vulnerable, but vulnerability can be strength, my friend. So again, let me put it in plain and layman's terms for you. So when you're in a relationship, and we all explore relationships, some of us never grow in relationships because we fall victim and blame the other person, not for giving an input in our life or understanding how we evolved, but we blame the other person for our failures in life. So when you're in a relationship, my friend, as an alpha male, you extend growth to become that alpha male. No one becomes an alpha male overnight. You become an alpha male by the people, your peers, your lover, your kids, whoever you have in your life to grow to that next level, to take you to that next step. A woman does not make a man an alpha male. Sorry, my friend. You are totally wrong there on that side. Maybe I'll take your thing quickly, but out of context, and tell you how it goes. So this is what I want to also lay by you also. A vulnerable man is a man with strength because he trusts that woman, first of all. So you telling me you are alpha male, but you're not going to show vulnerability towards a woman because she's scared. She's going to see you as a feminine. That means your ego, meaning you are insecure. First point. Insecurity sinks in. Not an alpha male. Alpha male is not insecure, my friend. That's why he can show vulnerability. And also trying to understand that woman shows compassion. Again, alpha male. Beta male won't show compassion because he's scared. Woman is going to again see him weak. So the strength to vulnerability is to show, I'm not scared to lose you, but I can show you what I'm bringing to the table is what you deserve and what I deserve and what you bring. I can step out when I want to, but I'm still showing you all my vulnerabilities so you can understand the person I am and I'm getting to understand the person you are. That's how trust is built, my friend. So I think you need to reevaluate that. But let me just go to another point. Sorry, Samuel, if I had to put it so bluntly for you, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. This is the other point I wanted to get across. So we speak about promiscuity, and Lethea said something that caught my mind. Now, yeah, I'm going to just swap it a little bit. What if a couple comes into a relationship and the male's more promiscuous or the female's more promiscuous and the other partner is not as promiscuous? How do you then explore with each other? Is it to understand the past? Is it to understand things? Maybe this will go to you first, Raymell. Sorry, this question.
Well, we have to be aware that everything is energy. And whenever we are attracting a mate into our life, how it works is we're always sent someone who's going to match where we are vibrationally, meaning if we're promiscuous, if we're exploring, we'll meet a mate that is on that same vibration, or we're going to meet and match with someone that teaches us something. So it's either going to be one of the two. You're going to match wherever you are vibrationally, or you're going to attract the opposite, which you're supposed to either learn something about yourself, learn something about them, and expand you. Or if you're not in a place to where you're in that expansion phase on your journey, you'll reject it, and then you'll judge them based on what they've done and how they're doing it, and you won't take the lesson that is meant for you to receive from it.
And your side?
I think that, as Raymell said, if one was in a very high sex drive, I think you can learn from each other, and but I think there needs to be understanding, of course, and understanding the next person's value system to know how can we explore.
That's right.
Let's have an open, honest discussion about our intimacy, about this part of our relationship, because I think the problem comes in is that people think that sex should be taboo. You cannot speak about it, but it is one of the most important things in the relationship. One of the biggest reasons why people cheat. So be open about it. Be open-minded about the different options that they are out there in order to keep that part of your relationship alive. Because I think the reason why people end up cheating in many cases is because they miss the desire, or that rush and that temptation, and that instant gratification. So and just something unknown, something new, where if you've been with your partner for 10 years, even 5 years, it could become monotonous. Same thing, same position every night. I'm tired, I have a headache. Once or twice or thrice a week, you become complacent.
Do you have a headache? Flipping hell at
You become complacent. You think, my partner will always be there. I already have 2 children with him or her. He's not going anywhere, or she's not going anywhere. Now, your life becomes monotonous and boring in the bedroom, especially for a man. And that's when, and I don't want to I don't want to say that that's the reason why he cheats, but that is where open, honest discussion needs to start. And communication is key to understanding each other, and to understanding what do you enjoy, and how can I help you, and how can you help me, so that we can come together and enjoy this experience, and make just add some spice to it.
There, Jason's already asking Shane Byron, what issues are you giving Lathia a headache? Yeah, it seems like it, Jason. It seems like it. Lathia, Macy, is Mel single? I'm just shooting my shot, Shane. You're gonna be a bit disappointed, my friend. So let me not put that out there yet. Anyway, so let me just go to one of Sharon's comments and just add on to one she said. So Sharon says, so it's okay for a female to just have one partner, but it's not okay for a man. He can have more than one. That's sleeping around. That's real bad. Sharon, I'm going to get to that now. Sharon said the problem is when couples get married, they forget to keep on dating. Yeah, I agree with that. And I love what you say that. Please send it to Samuel in his inbox. I find a man who allows himself to be vulnerable very, very attractive. Maybe Samuel can something. Sorry, Samuel. So here's the other thing also that I wanted to get at, and Sharon has put it on. That we understand you must keep dating, keep finding new ways to explore each other, and that is understanding, and that is what you need to do, and it's happening, especially more and more in today's day and age. So here's the thing, Sharon. How do you continue dating? Some people don't have the imagination. Some people can't open their mind to see someone as a different partner, because this is what spicing up your relationship is. Role play. You need to be have an imagination also to say, ooh, there's a police officer coming in the house. He's going to break in and he's going to dirty bang me in the house. Let's just speak straight like that. Anyway, sorry for the older ladies, but anyway, and men. Anyway, so this is my point I wanted to get at. How do you spice up that relationship with someone that's not understanding? You've been with him for 20 years, you have kids with this person, and you felt like, I don't want to move on to someone else. I'm going to have to start over. 10 years is sometimes long for people. Yes, I'm comfortable with you. You give me everything else, but the sex is bad. What do I do to spice it up? You have no imagination. When we role play with dildos, play with everything, it doesn't work because you are not creative. We both are maybe the problem here because maybe you're not attracted to me more. How do you bring that sense back, Raymell? How do you bring that energy? Let me use the word energy. How do you bring that energy back?
Well, that's where energy is always expanding. Energy never stays still. It's always moving into one form and out to the next. So in that case, maybe you've outgrown each other, but you're just in that just comfort of let's just stick together because this is all I know, which leads to an unhappy relationship, which leads to being you promiscuous with other people. And then you either hide it from your mate and act like everything is okay. And they will know because you have some new tricks that you have learned from dipping out versus just really having a conversation and having that vulnerable just space to where as a man, you could tell your mate, like, I am getting bored. I have a client that I work with, and she was having a situation with her mate to where she needed more sex in their relationship. And instead of her keeping it to herself, she says, okay, hey, I need more sex. And he was able to tell her, well, I don't like when you are rude around the house and you're mean. It doesn't make me want to give it to you, which made them seeing what the root of a problem was that they could work through and spice up their relationship. But that communication isn't always so fluent in a relationship to where you may want something, but you're afraid to vocalize what you want and you just hold it in, which becomes resentment. And then you walk around tense and not releasing in that energetic sexual exchange. And it's more of an argumentative, heated exchange of you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And you just could really release that by talking about it, seeing what it is, letting it go and spicing it up versus holding it in. And just you guys are both unhappy.
Love what you just said.
I love what Bertha said to Sharon. I offer my husband Bernardo's every now and then. You know what's Bernardo? It's painkiller. Thank you for that humor. Let's give Samuel a shot there.
Samuel says, Sharon Denise Mitchell, men and women display commitment differently. Women display love through faithfulness. Men display love through providing and protecting for a man. Providing and protecting for a woman. It's easier to have disconnected sex for males. Sex is like taking a piss for women. She has to be emotionally connected. Males can have sex disconnected, females cannot.
Okay, Samuel, here's a question you can think on it, and I'm going to go on to the other ones. So you are male. I'm asking this question directly to you because there's no other males I can ask these questions to if they're out there also answered. If you in a relationship with a woman, she's finding that you find you love her, you find you want to be with her. She comes to you and she said, can we bring another partner into the room? First thought you think is maybe a female, but what if she says she wants another male partner in the room? Ponder on that, answer me what your answer is around that, and I'll tell you what I think around it also upon your answer. Let's call it the MMF, male, female. You go and think about that. But let's go to Hailey's comment.
Okay, so Hailey says there needs to be transparency so that expectation within relationships is not abused. Healthy relationships are about constantly keeping the lines of communication open around our needs and theirs too. I highly doubt that the promiscuous partner will not volunteer the information around the exploits, despite putting their significant other at risk, emotionally and physically.
Yeah, that is true. And here comes the thing, so I won't call it, when you're in a relationship, I don't call it being promiscuous. I call it then you are now bringing your part of your life to someone else. They accept it, they understand this is you. Yes, when you start a relationship, maybe you lie, you hide things because you don't want to show this person. And so many examples are out there why that fail when you hide stuff, when you don't show your true self, because you can only make something an illusion for so long and it snaps back to reality. That's life. Reality snaps back over time. You can lie at your job, your CV. Look at the DA members here in South Africa. All their qualifications are going out. You can lie just a little bit, illusionate the reality. It does snap back. Remember that word reality. It's there for a reason. So let me go on to this question that I have here on the side or so. Not question, but something I would like to say. When you're in a relationship and you're being promiscuous, you are actually being open to your partner. It's your partner's choice to accept this or to not accept this. That's where it comes in again. Male or female, we should not blame the male generation. We should not blame the female generation because females cheat just as much as males do. Females are just so much manipulative as males are. Males are trash, females are trash, males are good, females are good. There's no gender attached. No matter if there are 100 genders, everybody still has these human emotions built in them that tunes them to temptation, enviousness, negativity. You are not a supreme being if you're going to become one, yet let me use those words. So here is the thing I'm going to leave you with now. You need to understand, and this is where I like to call my Lathian my love, matured love. And I'm going to explain why I say that now. We get to understand each other. You see, I'm not affectionate as a past partner where I don't come, lovey, kissing me, hugging me. Ooh, I want to hold you. Oh, whole day. I don't do those things. But I show my love in different ways. I would like to know. That's why she's still with me. So this is also the thing because I don't come out of a family that's very affectionate, but they show their love by action. But the things they do, how they do it, they don't come give you a kiss on the lips and they look one way. We grew up like that. My father always used to say, ooh, the fakeness. Oh, you can see that fakeness. Hi, Byron. How you doing? Mwah, mwah, mwah. He didn't grow up like that. I grew up people mocking me. My father still mocks me on my cancer, which is making me stronger. You know, a lot of people might say, what the hell, Byron? He's a cruel person. If you get to understand my household, that was maybe, don't take it out of context. I'm the same person in my household. I mock the juggler things, and that's what made us strong as humans. So here comes the point across. The point I'm trying to make is, if you promiscuous, whoever it is, or you promiscuous, would you go on to tell your partner, look here, I, as a female, first of all, or as a person that's in a same-sex relationship, whatever, would you go on to tell your partner, look here, I want to explore new things, but with other energy? Would you have that balls? What's keeping you back? And why is it keeping you back? Is it because of you saying it's not your way, your religion, or is it because of society?
I would say society. Society definitely plays a lot of the role in why certain people are afraid to explore themselves, to explore just different things in their relationships because of these beliefs that were instilled in them from their parents and grandparents. And a lot of times I hear people, well, this is how my parents were. This is what I want to keep this legacy alive. And often we have to think, what have worked for our parents isn't going to work for us. They're on their own journeys, creating their life and doing what makes them feel good. Versus as we are exploring, expanding, and growing within ourselves, we may be a little more free than our parents. We may want to experiment more than our parents. So I think society, just when you hold on to these systems and beliefs that are just created for us to stay in this box, if you allow yourself to stay in the box, you never know what life has to offer you. And is really explore that within yourself and being that with your partner. And also I wanted to say, often too, we'll have like partners or someone we'll attract that may be more promiscuous and we'll think, okay, I'm going to be the one to change them. We can't change anyone. They have to be in a place that they want to change. And then that's where you guys can merge together. But we have to release that idea that I'm going to be the one to make them different, because we'll always run into that roadblock of they're going to show us who they are and when we first meet them, and they're going to continuously be that way. And then that's where we either are going to have to adapt, adjust, and just grow with that, or we're going to be unhappy and just be in a situation just because we want the title of a relationship.
Lucia?
Yeah. Well, for me, I think, well, I cannot answer for everybody else, just from my part. I think I would be afraid of the repercussions or the result, because I wouldn't know, is it going to have more of a positive effect or more of a negative effect? How am I going to feel afterwards? How's my partner going to feel afterwards? Is it going to do more damage than good? Is it going to open up a can of worms that I never wanted to open up? Am I going to start being a bit more interested or want to explore more of more other energies than my own partner? So I think it's fearing the unknown of what can happen after the act. The other thing for me, though, is sharing of energy. I greatly believe in energy, and I feel that there's so many people, and if you do not know their backgrounds, where they're coming from, what they're doing, and the energy that you're allowing into your life. It's one thing allowing energy into your life. It's another thing allowing energy onto your body. And that physical exchange of energy is so much more powerful, and I believe in that. So going out, having sex with different people, for me, it's not something that I think I wouldn't want to contaminate my energy, especially if I feel that the way I'm living my life is good. And I suppose you should go back onto your model code, your value system. Does it align? Are you going to feel bad about yourself afterwards? So you and your partner definitely have to go back and reevaluate. Okay, what is the basis of our relationship? What is the foundation of our relationship? What is our value system for our relationship? Because of course you have your personal individual value system as well as your partner, but you also have to have it needs to be aligned in order for you to build a life forward and to raise children and to have a family together. So that's another thing I think is important. But I mean, there's a lot of people that's open to it. There's a lot of couples that are swinging, that are quite open and that are happy. If that works for them, so be it. But
What is swinging?
we
Seesaw swinging, is it? It's not like it's swinging. That's the swinging I know.
swinging, yes, with the swing. But I just want to go to some of the comments. Hailey says the one space where there is no room for inhibition is the bedroom. Could be a bit of an overshare, but life is way serious. Play is incredibly important, especially in a long-standing relationship. Connecting physically and soulfully regularly is important to keeping the flame alive. Some folk though, are addicted to the thrill of the chase. Exactly. This has little to do with how much spice there may or may not be in a relationship.
For some, it is not so much about lovemaking, but more sexual gratification.
Exactly.
Let's just go to this one as well, Sen. What kind of alpha male lets his woman command his sexuality? Because it compromises his masculinity traits. I would never allow that to happen. I understand the way you think, because monogamy changes the male mentality. Again, I've heard you say, what kind of alpha male, what kind of masculine man, what kind of strong man? I want you to ask you these questions yourself tonight. Who am I as a man? Not what is other men that's bigger, stronger, richer, smarter, or whatever. Who am I as a man? Go ask yourself first that question. What do I want as a man? Not what have I learned from other men. What have I learned from my hurt? Also, you must ask yourself to take me another step forward. So what I learned from my hurt, from people that I love, from people that's in my life, is to understand myself first. What I want, what I allow, what I accept. You see, I could tell you today, I don't mind if she sleeps with 5 other guys and she comes and tell me. I can tell you I don't like it. But this is my choices. It does not make me an alpha or not an alpha. That's why I posed that question to you, because this is the little word that comes in. That's a big thing. It's called ego. You see, your ego controls your mind because you're scared of what people will think of you. You've never said once, well, I don't feel like I can allow that. You said, an alpha man does not allow that. You can't speak for all men. You can never speak for all men. That's why I said I call myself an alpha male, because I feel this is what an alpha male is. I've seen women flocking to me, my friend. I've seen women speaking to me, my friend. I've seen women opening up to me. I've never seen it happen to my narcissistic friends. So let's put it in that way. Let's use the word narcissistic. Men that are males, strong, independent. Raymell, just to ask a question, coming from a male's perspective and also a good-looking man. What do you define as an alpha male?
For me, an alpha male is someone who is just in his powers, that he's confident with who he is. He's aware that he creates his own reality. He is in touch with his divine masculine and feminine, meaning that he isn't afraid to be vulnerable. He's not afraid to be emotional. He's not afraid to show love in just different areas. Also, he has that stability. He's grounded. He has structure, and he's just really that powerful being. Like for me, I'm an alpha male because I am just this powerful being, and I'm aware of that. I'm confident. I walk in a room and I demand the attention wherever I go, and I'm not afraid to show you all areas of who I am, meaning the parts of me that is sad, the parts of me that's scared, the part that me is happy, and the parts of me that she is confident is going to blow your mind with an energy exchange. So that's what I consider an alpha male.
I
So
love that.
good looking as Mr. Bentley. We're not going to let him take away his t-shirt this time. Let me just, let me just go here quickly.
So Haley says, polygamy is the new relationship dynamic. Multiple fulfilling relationships with one possible main relationship and several other physical connections, with all parties being fully aware. What are your thoughts on
I
this?
think we just touched on that, eh? And that Lathia has beautifully said it from her point of view. You see, I share it now without being vague that it's all up to the individual and the partner's acceptance of it. What will you compromise? Not saying, oh, she's ruling the relationship or he's ruling the sexual relationship. Sex is two people doing something. If
And
there's
two people deciding
two
together
people
how they
decide
want to explore.
exactly,
And nobody can frown upon
That's-
their relationship, because some people might that are exploring themselves sexually towards other partners also might be much more happier than those people that are in a monogamous relationship that is in denial of what it is that they need to work on in that relationship, or what discussions need to come to the forefront in that relationship. So maybe these people or the certain couples are just a bit more open-minded to explore and have the freedom to communicate their feelings and their desires. I think that is really when you are truly happy, is when you can really communicate what it is that you need and that you want to your partner without being afraid of being judged.
Six, Sharon, again, Sharon and I. Six, and I love Sharon. She's been our biggest supporter, but she knows also to Makasa to we jump on each other's toes. Let me put it like this. Six supposed to be sacred. The Bible says so. Again, go back to it. Your belief, Sharon, is what you believe. It's what you believe in, is what you believe in. We are a world full of 8 point something billion people, and I'm a Christian. You understand? But we should not depict certain things from the Bible to adjust our way of life. The Bible says many things, but again, I go back to the generation that we live in. When the Bible and the Quran and these things were written, these day and ages were written about, foreseen, but they weren't living in it. So it was easy for them to write it with the control man had back then. If you really read the Bible and the Quran, it's all about men's strength, and it's about men imposing stuff, and it's about men leading, about men being the priest, it's about men having rights, about men having 4 women. Men, misogynistic men, wrote in those times also. Men that was rulers over women. Men that did not allow women to work. Not saying you should not be a Christian. I'm a firm believer. Not saying you should not be a Muslim. I'm a firm believer that you should follow what you believe is your spiritual right. But we need to also understand we live in a world full of consciousness and awareness that there's so many things happening around us. And you said the first thing, lust. Unfortunately, some of us has this like a disease. Some of us has these diseases. And who are you going to get every time an exorcist to get the lust out of you? No, you need to battle with that yourself. Some demons you have to battle in your head yourself. But let me not go on and hammer on this, because we come close to the end of the show. And I would like to read some comments out. Let me just see what some Samuel says.
Samuel says, I will end my point with a recommendation of what alpha males are. Watch Fresh and Fit podcast, and it will answer your questions better than I could.
Oh my word. I think I know what Fresh and Fit is. I think you need to watch it again and not watch how they slander women in the podcast to make them feel strong. Go watch it again, but watch it with that mindset. Also, that Samuel guy, not Samuel guy, I don't know, I can't remember his name. Watch a little bit from a woman's perspective also, if you're a male. And a woman, watch from a male perspective. And don't go look for advice from men to give to you about men, but understand what you want. I go back to it every time. Don't learn things just from other people to enable your answers. Learn things of what you want to understand. But before I go ahead, Raymell, you know what happens at every end of the show. As the show went so quickly, as each one goes so quickly, and so phenomenal to have you on. And I think the ladies and gents or whoever had a good time looking at you. So I just want to go on by saying this. You know, by us, we are still in lockdown again. A lot of people are losing their lives. I know it's happening right across the globe. It does not need to be about promiscuous. Not to go tell them be promiscuous. That might set your mind free. I'm not saying that. What I'm asking you is just to be real, or just some, well, I would like not to call it motivation, but just some real facts from your side. We'll leave you there for 2-3 minutes.
What I love to leave with the audience today, for one, thank you both for having me on, and thank you, audience, for allowing me to just use my voice and to speak my truth. And it goes to my message. We all create our own realities. how I see the world, the things, my views of the world, it's just that minds. And the same goes for each and every one of you. And when we learn to respect other people's beliefs, their opinions on things in life, we will stop judging people or telling them it's right or wrong because we believe something is right or wrong. And we allow ourselves to have a conversation, be more open to hearing from the other person's point of view, to find a common ground of we both have different opinions, but how can we coexist and co-create in this world and stop trying to attach ourselves to these things like the Bible, religion, beliefs, and things of that, and just really be free spirited. We are all spiritual beings here having a human experience. And when you align and tap in more with your spirit, you don't really allow yourself to get so boxed into these things that we let create what we call life. And that's how we're trying to tell others how to do in their lives. Let's all love each other. Let's all just be one with each other, and let's all be promiscuous if we want. And if we don't, do what makes you feel good and live a life that you're happy with.
Giving people advice to say be promiscuous.
Even if it's your birthday, do it. Don't allow other people
Loads that
or
note.
society to love. Just love that.
Yeah,
love your truth. Do what makes you happy. Love your life.
Come, I love sharing. So I'm a person of God doesn't hate. God is full of love. Anyway, that's the end of the show. Raymell, we really appreciate having you on. You can say goodbye to the viewers.
Thank you so much for taking up the time to be on the show. We always love having you. And we will definitely contact you in the future to have.
Hopefully not a year from now.
Whenever it's called, we will align and just be with each other. And I thank both of you guys. And I see what you're doing. You're doing great things, and keep shining bright like the lights that you are.
You too, Raymell, and continue sharing that energy, that positive light that you always do.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Bye.
I enjoyed
Excellent.
that.
Lovely show. Thank you so much to all the viewers for commenting and engaging. For all loved the comments, and even to Samuel for sharing his thoughts and his viewpoint. We will love us contradicting the viewers as well, or learning.
But
from
that's the whole point. And here's it: we create our own reality. That is so true. Let's not and create love.
Let's love and create love.
Don't like the word promiscuous though. Yeah, let's give it a different word. Thank you guys, and Sharon and all the viewers. That's always, and Samuel, thank you so much for engaging and sharing your point and being manly enough to bring your point across. Yeah. This is how we learn and how we move forward, and I appreciate that. So guys, as we say each week, we had a phenomenal show. Catch tomorrow's episode, the replay, on DSTV 263 at Cape Town Television if you're in Cape Town, and if you don't have DSTV, just click there. And online also, there's many ways, or you can rewatch it online. Give us a little bit more views. But as we say each week now, from last week onwards,
also don't forget to like and share this video if you feel that there's anything that with anybody within your network that can gain value from the show. So please go ahead, like and share this video so that we can continue creating amazing content for you to enjoy.
So like and share. And
we love you, and